Okay, so really quick, I want to go over with you how to use Kami to show your test strategies. This is going to be practice because tomorrow you have our first 6 weeks checkpoint. So you're going to click on now. Okay, for you, it looks a little different. I think your assignment pops up over here where it says your work. Okay, so you're going to click there. For me, since I'm in the teacher view, I'm clicking on a different spot. So either way, it says your work. It should say practice energy flow questions PDF. So you're going to click on that. And I want you to click open with Kami. Okay, so we're going to click open with Kami. All right, so mine came open very quickly. Yours may come up and have you log in with your Google account. It's going to pop up several different screens. You'll have to say, you know, I am K through 12 school. I am a student. You'll have to go through and make all those options, and you'll have to allow Kami access to your Google Drive. So go through all of that so that you can set up your account. And then it should open it up to questions like this. And so I'm going to go over with you some of the strategies that I'll expect to see on your test. So question 1 says, a student makes the following observations while looking at the classroom terrarium. Which observation demonstrates an organism interacting with only non-living elements of its environment? So I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to highlight some keywords. I can see it's talking about an organism interacting. Okay, over here is my highlighter tool. So you click over here in the corner and you click this, an organism interacting with only non-living elements of its environment. Okay, so pause this video, go to your document, and I want you to highlight an organism interacting with only non-living elements of its environment, and then come back. Actually, you know what? I will leave these strategies on this one so that you can see, and I'll just show you how to use the tools now, and you can do the set 2 other questions, questions 3 and 4 on your own using strategies. But I will expect you to use these types of strategies on questions 3 and 4. Okay, so let's do this. Which observation demonstrates an organism interacting with only non-living elements of its environment? So I highlighted organism interacting, and I'm going to make, let's say I want to make a note. I can either use the drawing tool, and I can say this thing is a living thing, or I can even add a text box if I want to make myself a note while I'm working on the test. Let's see if it worked. See, text box, type it here. An organism is a living thing. So for those of you who really like to make notes next to your questions, all you got to do is click on that T, that text box. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my drawing tool again, and I'm going to come up here and look at my observations. Now that I know I'm looking for one living thing interacting with non-living things. Okay. Observation 1. Water dripped off of the African violet flower petal and was absorbed by the soil. So I know my African violet flower, I know it is a living thing. But then it's also interacting with the water and it's interacting with the soil. Well, I can see that that's one living thing with 2 non-living things. So that's a maybe for me. So that might work. I'm going to put a check mark there and come back and check. Okay. So I'm going to go to observation 2. The salamander, there's my living thing, climbed off of the rock and ate a leaf. Oh, that's 2 living things. The leaf is a living thing. So I know that one's not going to work. So let's look at observation 3. The walking stick bug, there's a living thing, moved up the branch of the jade plant. Oh, that's 2 living things. I need an organism interacting with a non-living thing. So that's not going to work. Observation 4. the tree frog, circle the tree frog, it's living, used its long tongue to catch and eat a flying insect. Oh, an insect is also a living thing, so I can mark that out. So now I know that my observation one, water dripped off the African violet flower and was absorbed by the soil, is my organism interacting with a non-living element of the environment, which is my water. Now I can come over here and I can either circle it with my drawing tool, or it's really cool. I can come over here and just click on my circle and just click A, and it circles my answer for me. Now, the good thing about this is if I can exit out of this and get back in, and it will save all the work I've done. So if you can't finish the test in one sitting and you have to come back later in the day, it will save your work. So don't worry about that. Okay, let's go down to question 2, and we'll go over question 2 really quick because I want to show you different strategies that I use when I'm going over food webs. Oh, and here's the eraser tool in case you need that. Okay, but right now I'm going to get my drawing tool. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to get my highlighting tool because I need to highlight some keywords when I read. It says a partial forest food web is shown. Which list contains only animals that receive energy transferred directly from consumers? Oh, I have a note left over that I made myself that consumers eat other organisms. So they don't make their own food. Okay. So what I'm going to do is come up here and I'm going to label my producers and consumers. I know that the willow and the spruce are both producers. And I know anything that's eating another organism, that's going to be all of my consumers. So I'm going to come up here and label those. That's going to help me when I'm going through my answer choices. Okay. Now I'm going to remind myself, okay, only animals that receive energy directly from consumers. Okay. Red-tailed hawk. His energy is coming from the snowshoe hare, so he's getting energy from a consumer. His energy is coming from the shrew. So, okay, he's good. He works for me. His energy is coming from only consumers. Now I'm going to look at the snowshoe hare. Oh, his energy is coming from the willows and the spruces. So I know that he's getting energy from only producers. So he's not going to work for me. G, oh, it starts with snowshoe hare, so I can X him out. H, again, starts with snowshoe hare, so I can X him out. So I know J is my right answer, but I'm going to check myself. Shrews, he's getting his energy from a caterpillar, which is a consumer, so that's good. Red foxes, he's getting his energy from caterpillars and snowshoe hares. So I know he's good. So again, I'm going to come to my circle and I'm going to click on the J and circle my answer. Okay, so now that you've seen me use these tools, I want you to use the highlighter and the drawing tool. I want to see you. Question 3, you might make a note out to the side about what biotic is. You might highlight the different keywords. The next question, question 4, you might read through this and mark through animals that don't have anything to work with. So if I compete with, so if I go to bobcats, I'm going to read and compare his diet to other things. So I want to see you using your strategies. Now I'm going to come back to the classroom and show you. After you Okay, when you come back to Google Classroom, you can see that I have a YouTube playlist. So if you like to listen to the questions being read, you can click on questions 3 and 4 separately to listen to me read them. This is just how it's going to be for my tests as well. Okay. Then once you're finished answering your questions in Kami, You come back and there's a Google form. See how it says Google form? You click on that. That's where you put in all of your answers and hit submit. Okay, so you have lots of resources here to help you when you're answering test questions. And this is good practice because remember, I said tomorrow is your checkpoint test. So complete all these questions, submit your answers in your Google form, and don't forget to come back and over here, you're going to mark this assignment done. You're going to turn it in.